Yes, it's really fascinating how Ion tells us about Saint Germain and the Queen Mom, that they go to parallel worlds and they get some golds or jewels, and even Saint Germain, there are some chronicles. He was doing like some parlor tricks, showing people how he could make gems of ordinary stones or gold. And Nicolas Flamel, for example, he could also...
He could do what we could do. They all did great things, but like Jesus said, they should say, Flamel should have said, I'm a great guy, but there's greater people coming than me. They all should have said that, and that's us. Nobody's ever done.
Workers and alchemists. So that's the thing that you get when you have the ascended blood. Yes,
but didn't get them that far. They did not win the race. Whatever they had going, Ophanel whooped them. Ophanel, he invested in Bob. And he was right. He won. Everybody else failed in their alchemy and their Nostradamus assistants. Even Nostradamus said, yeah, it looks like Bob's going to win. He predicted it. Give up. Accept it, Roxy. You understand what's going on. Stop running off to the internet looking for other idiots who don't know what's going on.
No, but I see that there is really this process, this alchemical process going on.
Not anymore. Really that stuff doesn't work.
Ion, from the beginning, is talking about economy and not about spiritual.
That's right. Yeah, he's talking about reality. He's talking about Bob. All Ion talks about is Bob. That's why non-physical gave up being the guff, because Bob whooped everybody. So Ophanel, just like the Rothschilds broker, went over and joined JW. The guff said, "Oh, Bob won. Let's give up being the guff. We're going to hang out with Bob." That's what happened. Pretty preposterous. I agree. It's hard for even the ascended to understand this, but it's what's happening.
And why did the Priory of Zion then somehow...
Well, you know what they can brag? They can brag, man, we produced Bob, because my father was a member of that. You know, you read in my diaries. So they can say, we knew Bobby. We knew him when he was a kid. We trained him. They can try to claim that I'm working for them.
Yes, if one sees the work of Jean Cocteau and that he claimed that he was working with angels,
he got that from the secret. He got that from the Priory of Zion. He was the leader of it in the middle of the 20th century. He got it from Bob's associates.
It's not surrealist nonsense. It's really...
Well, no, for most people, surrealist really nonsense. But we know, because you know me and Ion, you know it's pretty good. But he got it from us. So again, you keep going around in circles. You keep saying, is there anything else besides Bob? And you go out there, oh, look at this, found this, you found that, Pierre Jovanovich and everybody else. And you come back and we just said, oh, Roxy, you already arrived. You can't believe that you've arrived. You can't believe that you've arrived.
They distracted people with the Merovingians.
Yeah, that's right. They did a lot of tricks. Everybody had to do tricks until the ultimate trickster showed up.
Yes, but there's going to be these very extreme changes in economy, and that's why there's
but we provide solutions for that. And if the people don't listen to it, that's their problem. But we're here willing to spread it out, but you got to be a lucky kind of person who actually finds out we exist and then take the products, and then you're okay.
Yes, instead of saying, okay, go buy some gold or some...
That's right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, practice the OA movement. the earth and the keys.
Yeah, but no, you can do all that stuff, but take our products. That's the important part. You got to change your stomach lining. Change your stomach lining.
But it is really amazing.
Of course, yeah, you arrived. You never thought that you'd get to the inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
What about the Ouija board or all those types of
they don't work anymore. They don't work. Mediums. They don't work. Any old occult thing you ever heard of, what's better than ion? They don't produce new technologies. They just play games, those residue phenomena that come through channeling. It's just residue. It's not even actively involved with our essence.
Because of the Gulf dissolved?
Yes. Yep. That's the most revolutionary act a human could imagine. Okay, we think there's something beyond this world, and we call it heaven, and then they find out heaven gave up being heaven and joined us. Now, who's going to be able to get their head around that, or their stomach brain around that?
Yes, for example, when I lived in Washington, there's in Alexandria a big Masonic temple, and you see all these things like in Paris, all these...
Right, it didn't work. It didn't work, Roxy. A lot of geniuses went into building all that stuff, but they are not here sitting at headquarters.
But you did work with them before.
Well, I had to, yes. Back then they were kind of in charge. But I did my jujitsu. I trickstered them. Remember, I was sent to spy on McLuhan in the 50s, and I ended up making McLuhan famous. I went a different route than my employers wanted. I made Zappa famous.
So how would you make a summary of the Ophenel Odyssey? Like, we went through all these media environments and economies.
We ended up here. That's
gave
right.
Us the manna.
We ended up with the manna. My diaries are a beginning way of explaining it, and then my videos with you explain a lot of personal stuff. And then there's other projects that are unfolding this. So we're producing the media that explains how this happened.
Okay.
You say, Uncle? You give up?
No, but I mean, at the end, there is something else really going on.
Yeah,
like
we are the something else that's going on.
Like
you don't believe,
Templars,
you just can't believe.
They claim they had Baphomet and
yeah, Baphomet
had other things.
Baphomet was just the butler for Ophenel. He was a butler for Ophenel.
But then you have Ion, so there's something...
Yeah, you come back to the same old realization that you're going to go, oh, now I get it, for the 1,000th time. You're worse than me. I do Groundhog Day. You do your breakthrough insight that you've arrived at headquarters, and then you have to redo it every 2 weeks.
No, because it's like, how do you explain then a common... I mean, like, the LaRouchians have this course...
Yes, doesn't work. LaRouche doesn't work anymore. Nobody works. Look, why on the chart is LaRouche, McLuhan, Thompson, and Croker are all Shakespeare tragedies. They're all Shakespeare tragedies.
You eat the drops.
What?
You tell them, no, everything you're saying is not true. You communicate with them and you take the drops.
But it's right there on the chart. Each quadrant, LaRouche, McLuhan, Thompson, and Croker are a Shakespearean tragedy. You'll see. Each one is a tragedy. It's a particular kind of tragedy. Not my quadrant. I got Henry V. That's a happy, successful play. But everybody else is a tragedy. That's why that's why Thompson objects to me, why the McLuhans object to me, and Croker and LaRouche. They all object to me because they know, intuit, what I'm saying about them.
But why did you came forward, like, when Bob and JW started communicated with you? Ion.
Let's see if Ion fell asleep. Where's Ion? No, he's there. So the way you're saying it is what attracted you to JW and Bob and Carol and Ion? Ion's speaking, but it's not coming through. Why is there vibrations coming out of your microphone, Ion? We don't hear you.
They're in a higher frequency.
Yes. And they're beating off the tech body because I'm explaining too much tonight. Tech body objects to it.
But when we fell, was there a amount of people that decided to fail?
Yeah, a lot of them.
And
you didn't, Roxy. You stayed in the inner circle. You stayed in touch with the Calathonites.
But then, like, we're going to ascend again.
Yes.
And
you know that.
So there is something in us that had that information somehow.
Yeah.
That even though we are in different parts of the world, we somehow felt.
Yes.
You know, like I discovered you by chance.
Yes. Or not. What's the difference?
Yes.
Then again, you're marveling that happened. So I was telling you to take your power, start marveling at how you got here. Now take advantage of being here.
Yes, but as the Roaring Twenties are going to start, it's like, I think it is important that we know what's happening in what we call the economy for real.
Yeah, you just stay in touch with me and you know what's happening. Pierre Jovanovich won't know. Larry Kudlow won't know unless they get over here and start being a student like Mark Sweat.
Well, but at least Pierre Jovanovich has
not enough.
That there is something else.
See, Roxy,
he thinks that it's angels working.
You're a fringe person, always been, and you apologize for the meme of fringe perspective, like Jovanovich. So you try to.
Well, because you see the French are still destroying Paris. So they're still protesting.
Of course, Trump's still destroying Washington.
And they think they're protesting because of some
that's right. They don't know.
And some taxes.
There's a line. There's a line in Finnegan's Wake. There's a line in Finnegan's Wake where it goes on about how you keep refusing to acknowledge what you see. You're refusing to acknowledge what you see and know. You keep doing that.
No, I just enjoyed.
You go back and you feel
how you explain these things.
Right, and you like going over to Pierre Jovanovich or listening to your French radio, and you feel superior. You like to feel, I know something they don't know.
No, but I see like every week, the people in Paris are protesting. And
yeah, we know.
Everybody knows there is not going to be any retirement money.
That's right. And they have to find out about us. If you don't find out about us, you die. That's the point.
Like, they lied to us. We were working and saving money, and then we are not going to have
That's right. A big rip-off. Every decade since the 60s has been a rip-off. A new environment came along and ripped off the old environment. Ion came along and ripped off all the other environments that were before Ion. Tore them off you.
Yes, but if one has a little understanding of how the economy works from the beginning with these little assets.
Look, most of the ascended people are sitting around saying, how did those three fuckers pull this off? How come they're correct and we're not? That's the main thinking that's going on in all the think tanks around the world. Where did this Ion dumb crew come from?
Yes, because even the temple, they have the temple, and they're independent of the kings.
That's right.
And they have all these secret societies and all these...
yes, we don't have any secret society.
They have their church of the subgenius.
Yeah, that's right. And so do we. And
it's really a great mirroring of that.
Yes, they were guided by Ophanel, or me, and they all attempted. They were rehearsals of what we did. And they're all still happening now, in one big now. You know, Babylon, Baphomet, they're not a million miles away. They're right beside us. But you can't see them because they're not as important as we are.
But I always think for you it was
easy.
It had the function of making the second coming, like protecting you from becoming a cult.
That's right. I knew what I was doing. Still do.
It was a big joke. So
yes, it was a big joke. It was a big joke. Still is a big joke.
Everything is a big joke.
That's right. But we have something to be serious with. We got what you need to eat. The cults didn't always have that. Okay, now I got to debrief you. Now we're going to bring you up to date. We've gone through your neurosis. We reviewed how, yes, you arrived at the center. We reviewed the same themes like we do every time.
I don't know why. The other day I woke up and I was thinking about a woman called Tracy Twyman, that she wrote about how she got in contact with Jean Cocteau through the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And then she was interested in the Merovingians. But she could not understand Cocteau because she could not speak French, and Cocteau was telling her a lot of numbers and weird stuff. And then Cocteau told them to talk to other spirits, and then that other spirit told them to Cain. And then Cain told them to talk to Baphomet. and that was a long time ago that I heard some interview with her, and I found it really interesting because I always somehow liked the Templars.
And then it came back. It just came back the other day.
Then, the other day I woke up and somebody posted on Facebook that she was maybe killed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about her, and then the next day somebody posted that, so I thought, this is weird, like, I'm thinking about her, and then...
Yeah, you're so excessive in your replays of this nostalgia for the Fringe that now you're toxic. You go back and pay attention to them, it'll kill them.
No, but I was really thinking about the Templars, and if they really had some entities telling them what to do, or if like the Karen Hughes, she says there are some aliens really controlling the economy.
Yeah, but there are people who have intuition. You're thinking it has to be some spirits. McLuhan had ESP. People have ESP. They're a little ahead of everybody.
If Zion is talking about parallel worlds and parallel economy, it could be.
Well, come on, it is. That's it.
I had to ask Zion if
Okay, now you've gone through. There's no more questions about the past. The only questions you have are for me, where I tell you what you want to know. With a little supplementation from Ion, if he ever comes out of his silent period again. So here we go.
Yes.
Let's hope you didn't kill Ion.
Well, okay, I have a question for you, because I believe that there is the Priory of Zion was real, and that really Leonardo...
Yeah, and you're talking to a guy who saw his father go to the damn meetings.
Yeah, that then they make it look as if it was a fake operation.
Yes.
And that it was all about the Merovingians.
Yeah.
Like Leonardo is all about the Merovingians.
Well, that's 70 years ago. That's 1950s. Things weren't clear about who was on your side or not, so everybody was protecting their wagers, their bets. Yeah, the people got killed in these battles.
But at the end, it is about bloodline, and it is about the transmutation of the blood. But
not so much about the bloodlines anymore, because we're now offering stuff that is better than a bloodline. It brings in new changes that protect you from what's happening. The bloodline doesn't protect you anymore.
I am made of go. I mean, you complain about the castles, but actually go into that because of Ion.
I don't complain about the castles. I don't complain about the castles.
And I find it really fascinating because I really see that all these things are really, really, really...
That's right. They're really real. I really hear, Roxy. I am talking to you. I'm real.
And the Priory of Zion...
Yeah, me.
Is real, and
yes, I'm real. You're real.
After you know about
you're not so real.
You see the work
to the degree you go back and are worried about how real they are, makes you unreal in relation to here. So get real.
Yes, but it is fascinating to see, for example, the work of Cocteau.
Yeah. It's not fascinating anymore. It was all bad art. Bad, secondary. Now listen, I'm going to play the thing. It's 56 minutes. If you stay on the line, which you can't, don't make noises in the kitchen, okay? So here goes. This is going to be the update, the information you need to know to get through next week. Okay, here we go.
Okay. No, we need to make a video this way.
Yeah, we'll make a video. We just take this soundtrack and you put it on footage of the history of humanity with what I just said.